Hi, I'm Oliver. I'm allergic to eggs, fish and shellfish. I'm developing an intolerance to soya. I'm asthmatic and I have allergies to biological washing powder, grass pollen and cats. Well, I've always been allergic to eggs and fish, so it was my parents who told me that I used to be violently ill when I had toast soldiers with eggs or when I was eating fish. And I used to come out in hives. I remember my mum used to make cakes and I accidentally touched an egg once and then touched my eye and half my face went quite red. So I've known about it pretty much ever since I can remember. I was tested at 20 when I was at university, and I'd had quite a few severe reactions up until that point. And I thought it was good to actually get tested and just confirm that I was definitely allergic and not intolerant and not considered something else. I had the pinprick test and it proved that I was allergic to eggs and fish and shellfish. Typical reaction would be, it would start with my lips and my throat. I'd know that I would sense that I would had a reaction. And I would get tingling in my lips would start getting a couple of lumps and bumps, and then I'd actually shudder. It would actually be a physical shudder that I'd have. And then I'd start getting quite lightheaded. I'd start feeling it in my stomach, and over the course of about an hour, I'd say the symptoms would get worse and worse. And after about an hour, I would then be violently sick in the nearest bathroom, if possible. And for the next 2 or 3 hours, I would just be sick for a number of different times, pretty much just lying on the floor because I can't cope with the cramps. And about 4 hours later, I start feeling a bit more normal. I start being able to actually have actual thoughts. And a couple of hours later, I start actually feeling fine. So it takes about 6 hours in total. I do find eating out very difficult. I have to be very, very certain that the waiter or waitress knows exactly what is going on and that I do have a severe allergy. But even at the best of times when they have books and they have menus that I can actually peruse and I can recognise, it is still very difficult to make them understand that if it's a part of an ingredient, if it's a glaze, if it's actually included as a small part, that I still will have a reaction to it. So it can be, even if they think that there is, it's just a small amount as part of a kind of minor ingredients of it, they might not necessarily tell me, and I don't necessarily know until I have the reaction. And that is quite bad, and it does happen quite regularly, a lot more regularly than you think. I think my allergy has always been a talking point among my friends, and it's a source of amusement every time we go out, that obviously I have to go through this whole rigmarole. But in terms of actually being able to go out and ensure that I've got a broader range of restaurants I can go to, or pubs, or anywhere that serves food, it will be very important to know that I will then be able to get the information that I need to be able to make an informed decision and get the food that won't actually harm me. I think the new regulations will make it much easier for someone like me to be able to go out and eat, because up to this point it has been very different, the kinds of experiences that I've had. However, it is also up to the restaurant to ensure that they make sure that they use the tools that they get, so any kind of statement of ingredients, that they actually use them properly. Because I have had the same different experiences at the same restaurant that did have the book, but I wasn't aware of it the first time. So I would say that you have to be very careful and make everyone completely aware that you are allergic, not just maybe intolerant, or not. It's not going to have a minor impact on you. It's going to be a quite severe reaction, and have to be constantly asking and questioning.